Alright, so imagine there's this coffee shop in your neighborhood and you love their coffee. You go there every day in the morning to get your favorite flavor of coffee, and recently they launched the subscription model. So instead of buying one every time you need it, you can simply get one delivered to your doorstep every day if you subscribe to this new model. Makes it much more convenient and is cheaper in the long run, so you go for it. And just like you, there are several other coffee drinkers in your neighborhood who also are now subscribed to this coffee delivery service. So this coffee shop now has to send out coffee to people in the neighborhood daily based on what they want. You like raw black coffee, so that's what you would get, but someone else may not like the bitterness, so they have that coffee with cream and sugar. So this essentially is a pub sub or a publisher subscriber model, wherein the coffee shop is the publisher, you and the rest of the folks in the neighborhood are the subscribers. You are subscribed to a black coffee event in technical terms. The publisher then sends out this black coffee for delivery to you and those who have also subscribed to the same coffee. Similarly, the coffee with cream and sugar event would also happen, but you would not know of it because you're not subscribed to it. Anytime you want to unsubscribe from this service, you very well can, and going forward you won't get any more coffee from this coffee shop. Now, building this in JavaScript is not that difficult, to be honest. It's also a very common interview question, so let's try to come up with a simple pub/sub model. To create this model, we'll start by defining a basic structure in the form of a class. Inside this constructor, I have this subscribers object. The reason why I'm choosing an object is to keep track of the subscribers for each event. So going back to the same example, there can be a black coffee event, so that would be the key, and for this key there will be an array of subscribers as the value. Any other event will again have a similar array with its own set of subscribers. Then we need three methods inside this class: a subscribe method, an unsubscribe method, and a publish method. Subscribe will take in the event name and the callback function as its parameters. You can think of this callback as any action that you do after the event that you subscribe to has been triggered. So anytime you get the coffee delivered, you can do whatever you want with it. Say this coffee is in the form of a powder and you're supposed to mix it in some liquid to make a beverage. You can do it with milk, you can do it with water. You can also mix this powder with something else like some kind of a dessert. I don't know, I'm not a chef, but my point here is once you get the coffee, you do whatever you want with it. Similarly, this callback function is some task that you'd perform when the event is published or triggered. Inside this method, all I'll do is check if the event even exists. If it does exist, that means there's an array of subscribers already present for that event. So I can directly push this new subscriber to this already existing list of subscribers. The callback would act as a subscriber here. So basically, anytime the publisher sends an event, say for instance the black coffee event, all the callbacks that are going to be stored for that particular event, we'll consider them as subscribers. All those callbacks will be invoked. If there is no such event inside our subscribers object, then I'll create a new key and initialize it with an empty array and then push the callback into it. The second method is the unsubscribe method. When I invoke this method, I would pass in the name of the event and the callback function. So for the event that I passed, I want the callback to be removed from the array. This means that the next time the event gets triggered, this callback would not run, meaning I'm not subscribed to the event anymore. This again is pretty straightforward. If the event that I'm trying to unsubscribe from does not exist, then I simply return undefined. But if there is an event like that present, then I'll filter out the callbacks from that event that are not equal to the callback that I passed. Now the final method is going to be the publish method. This will be used to actually publish or trigger an event. Again, we'll first check if the event that we are trying to trigger exists or not. If it doesn't exist, we'll simply return. But if it does exist, then we'll call each and every method for that event key. You'll also have an option to pass in additional data to the callback functions. So that would be the second parameter. So that should do it. Our model looks ready. Now let's test this out. So I'll create a new instance first. Let's call it coffee shop and it will be new instance of the pub/sub class. I'll also add these three functions here. All these three functions are the callbacks that we'll run after a particular event gets triggered. And speaking of events, let's subscribe to two events. One will be the black coffee event and the other one will be the French vanilla coffee event. So here for the black coffee event, I have two subscribers. You can see that we have this first subscriber that is going to make black coffee out of the coffee that we get. And the second one is going to prepare dark chocolate out of the coffee powder. So we have two subscribers and we have one subscriber for the French vanilla coffee event. Now at the end, all I'll do is simply publish both of these events. And let me actually run this inside the browser. If I open up the console, yeah, you can see here that we get the console log statements from the callbacks for both of the events. The black coffee event gave us this statement, and the French vanilla coffee gave us this statement. So our pub/sub model works. Now what I'll do is I'll add a console log statement here, and I'll call it after unsubscribe. So I'll be removing one subscriber for the black coffee event. So coffee shop.unsubscribe, and the event that I'll be unsubscribing is the black coffee event, and the callback is going to be prepare black coffee callback. Now if I again publish both of these events, now these two events will run after there has been one unsubscription for the black coffee event. So ideally it should run only this callback, because this callback would no longer be mapped to this black coffee event. So let's test this out. I'll save this file and go back to the browser. You see that we get the first 3 callbacks as expected. 2 callbacks for the black coffee event and 1 callback for the French vanilla coffee event. And after unsubscribe, we only get 1 callback for each of the events. And you'll see that this made black coffee console log statement is not present anymore, which means that callback is not subscribed to the black coffee event anymore. So yeah, that was a quick overview on the pub/sub model. I used ES6 classes to build this, but obviously there's also a functional way of doing it, which I'll flash on the screen. The ES6 class is also technically a function with syntactic sugar. So yeah, use whichever one you like. Hope this video made sense to you. And if you want more such videos, do subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.